Hey there, y'all. Welcome back. I'm Shayna Cersei, and I am so excited to paint with you today. We are going to be painting another page in our watercolor journal, and today I'm going to be doing some eucalyptus, and we're going to be doing not only some eucalyptus shapes, but in a traditional kind of eucalyptus color, but also mixing in some other alternative colors, which I think will be a lot of fun. So eucalyptus, well, there's a couple of different kinds of eucalyptus, but this is like that traditional kind of reedy. So I'm going to, the leaves of eucalyptus, I'm going to draw right over the branch, are usually somewhat kind of rounded, spherical, ovalish in shape. They go across the branch. And I know you guys appreciate when I draw things out. I wouldn't always draw these out. I would just kind of paint them, but I think some folks. So this would be like the side view, like it's bending out towards us. So you're only going to see a little bit of it like this. And then let's have another one like right here. All right, so I'm also going to have another branch over here. So I'm kind of preparing for a couple different colors. I think I'm going to do 3 different. And I do have the color palette kind of in mind. All right, so lots of different shapes of eucalyptus, and you can certainly lighten with a kneaded eraser. I'm just going to get rid of this line at the top here with my regular eraser because I don't know where my kneaded eraser is. All right, so now I'm going to get ready to paint. So what colors are we going to use? Well, we're going to use some phthalo blue. I know that's very, very bright, but don't you worry. We're also going to use some of this green gold color. And I'm also going to use some purple. And I'm going to introduce some Payne's Gray. Now I want to see what this green gold and this phthalo blue look like together. So they're going to give us this really pretty green, very jewel tone green, and then I'm going to add a little Payne's Gray to it. It's going to give us this beautiful kind of muted, slightly muted green color, which I would consider like more of a traditional eucalyptus color. So let's make some more of that. We're going to start with this one as our center piece here. Beautiful, beautiful green. Went a little far with the Payne's Gray. We're going to add a little more blue and some water. Let's see. Yes, that's the color I want. Or some close variation to this. So that was green, gold, phthalo blue. If you don't have a green, gold, you could use another yellow, like a cadmium yellow or lemon yellow. Would get you pretty close with phthalo blue and some Payne's gray. So let's put our other colors out there. I'm also going to use this on its own, I think. And then I am going to take my purple, add a little Payne's gray to it to get more of a gray, kind of dusty purple color. This. And these are the three colors I'm going to use for these three branches here. So Payne's gray was the other color I used to make all of these. Just put it up there on the top. Okay. So, and actually I'm going to put out some straight phthalo just so I can see these were the original colors. And then I use these to make some of the other colors. But there we go. All right, so let's pick up some of this. I'm going to start kind of at the base, or the part of the leaf that is closest to the stem. I'm going to rinse my brush off, and I'm going to blend out that color. Rinse my brush off again. Let's keep going. And we're just going to have to do this kind of over and over and over again. And then when we're done, we can also add a few more details. So we're going to do this with each of the colors. So I'm going to use this color, and then I'm also going to do the purple, but I'm also going to do this, which I'm a little more skeptical about, that green gold by itself. But I'm going to do this little one in that color. I just love it next to this darker green. I think they complement each other really well. And I'm using, and while they're still wet, you can always drop in a little more color, wet on wet. I'm using a size 4. This is a Velvet Touch brush. And of course my core paints, QOR by Golden. Golden is the parent company of these. They are made in New York. So lots of painting, dabbing, rinsing, dabbing, rinsing, dabbing. It's very repetitive, but each leaf is going to be different. In its own little unique way, but all painted very similarly in terms of process. And just because I'm going this quickly doesn't mean you have to necessarily. All right, so you can let these dry, and if you feel like they need another layer on them, you can always do that. But something like this, I do try to get it all kind of done in the first shot. Let's throw a little more color in these up here. But if you don't get it done in one shot, or maybe you have lower pigment grade paints, and to get as bright of a color, you really do need to do more than one layer. Just because some paints, no matter what you do, you're never going to get it on the first go. And that's just because of the quality or the amount of pigment in the paints themselves. Okay. Now, I am going to introduce another color. I am going to introduce a brown. So this is a burnt sienna. It's a very reddish brown. I probably could have gone with something slightly darker, but we'll go with this for now. All right, so while that is drying, add some green to this. There we go, a little bit darker. Okay, so while that is all drying, let's move on. Let's go to the green gold because I'm really curious about how this is going to go. So this is like the darkest this color will get. It's pretty dark, but I really love this color for how bright and translucent it is in its lightest form. Very nice. Okay, so same thing, darkest by the closest to the stem, and then gets lighter the further away we go. So I just painted those all at the same time, and now I'm just introducing water. Hopefully I can move quickly enough. If you're not moving that quickly, or your paint's dry really fast, or you're in a really dry room and things dry really fast, maybe just do one at a time. Or definitely if you're not working on 100% cotton paper, things tend to dry a lot faster. But yeah, this color is so bright and vibrant. And again, it's not a color I normally used to gravitate towards. I thought it was a little too vibrant, but I'm really enjoying it lately. I'm really enjoying it juxtaposed next to these other deep saturated colors. I think it enhances its brightness. I just like it. All right, so there's the green gold. And I definitely think I can put a little bit more darker color up here in the centers. Blend it out ever so slightly. Okay. Let's move on to our purple. So we have this dusty kind of purple color. So I used a beautiful dioxazine purple and just added some Payne's gray to it to get more of a gray purple. You could even add like a tiny bit of this green gold to neutralize it even more. It'll turn it more gray because the opposite of purple is yellow, and that's a very yellow. I think that I went a little too far. Put a little more purple in there. All right, so it looks super black right now, so let's rinse, dab, paint. And I don't know if you notice when I go in, so I start at the center with my darkest color, and then I rinse my brush off, dab it, so I just have a little water left on it. Now I don't go right to the dark paint part and start pulling it out from the paint. I actually introduce water to the blank part of the leaf, and I slowly touch it to the other part and invite that color in, especially in these much tinier spaces. This trio, this color combination trio, is a lot of fun. It feels really harmonious to me and balanced and soft. Even though this is a super bright color, it's balanced out by these other two that are more subdued, but it really provides like a pop of richness. Otherwise, it might be too calm. Put me to sleep instead of making me feel relaxed. Almost done. Then we can add in the stems on these as well. Beautiful. All right, so I'm going to take, this was that burnt sienna, and I added some of the green to it. This green blue, which tones it down. Or you can just pick a different brown instead of burnt sienna that you don't have to doctor. Something a little less warm, a little cooler, darker brown. I'm going to add a few branches off of these. There we go. I'm going to make this, see if I can get this really thin. There we have it. So what do we all think about this color trio? I love it. I think it's super calming, super, I don't know, just interesting. So you can go back through and do another layer if you feel like some areas are just lacking, or you just want to pop up the contrast in a few of the leaves. That could be really nice too. So like right here, and maybe another one down here, giving it more of a contrast and shadow. And that can really play with the dynamic nature of the overall piece. Don't do them all, otherwise then they all become the same thing again. And you can do it for all 3 colors. You could go through, you could add a few details like some lines up the center. Of some of the leaves. So just a few. Oops. All right, so now I've created another little dot there. So now I have to create another leaf around that because I messed up. I was moving too quickly. But that's okay. So what we're gonna do, take some of this. Oh, I took a lot of that. And now I put another one on there. Man, I'm just batting 1,000. All right, we're gonna put one right here. Rinse off, dab off. Drop in a little color. There we go. All right, let it all dry, and then you have this lovely little eucalyptus trio with some interesting colors going on. This would be the more traditional color in the middle, but I really love the combination of all of these and these beautiful kind of rounded leaf structures. So thanks for painting with me. I'm Shayna Cersei. Don't forget to check out the description, like the video, follow the channel, or subscribe to the channel. And check out the description for supplies and materials that I use regularly, as well as link to my Instagram. And yeah, happy painting, y'all. I'll see you for the next watercolor journal page shortly.